West Player of the Week.
Yeah, that's really cool. I just found that out after practice. Obviously, my first time getting that. And I think it's just a credit to my teammates coming off that win against Texas A&M. We really stressed moving the ball before the game, and I think you saw a lot of that throughout the game, and I think we're getting better every game. So it's a big honor for me, and I really appreciate that from the Mountain West. So.
And it seemed like in that game, you were really obviously feeling it. There was even one time like late in the game where you could have pulled it out, and you decided to let it go, and it went in. I mean, was it just one of those games where you just wanted to keep it rolling?
Yeah, I think in the moment I kind of looked at the shot clock, looked at the game clock, and I was like, yeah, might as well. This could ice the game if I make it. And then if I missed, I think I would have lived with the consequences because we were up 8 at the time, I think. Yeah, we showed that one in film. It kind of felt like it iced the game for us. So, yeah, it was a good game overall for me, and I'm glad we won it. So.
Did you show David Moats' reaction in film?
Yeah, we did. We did. We kind of went crazy for it. I told him thanks for showing all that hype for me. I appreciate it.
When you look at the start of the season for you moving into the starting lineup, are you more conscious of trying to score as a starter, or are you just out there more often? Or?
Yeah, kind of in the offseason, Leon preached to me that I had to be more of a scorer. Obviously, we lost E-Man, which was a big scorer, Abu, one of the best scorers ever here. Then obviously a couple more down the list, but he kind of just stressed to me that I got to take some of that scoring load on, and I think I've done a pretty good job of it so far, and then just maybe up my efficiency a little more, and then that's probably where I want to be. So.
What do you think your team did well against Texas A&M to obviously get the win and play as well as you did?
I think our biggest thing was we improved with the assists, but also they were a big physical team in the SEC, so we had to rebound with them too. So I think those were the two biggest things, rebounding and assists, but we obviously made shots. You have to make shots to beat teams like that. But overall, I think it was a well-rounded game from everyone, and then we're just going to try to keep stacking games, getting better every game. So we've got a big one tomorrow too. So.
Where do you think this team has improved the most since the start of the season?
I'd probably just say gelling as a team overall. Like, we have a couple new pieces. No one knew Jace was going to be this much of a factor coming in. Obviously, he's earned every minute he's got this year. So kind of just adding new pieces. Abuzo, too. He's done a ton of good things. He kind of had a rough start, but I think he's over that hump. And you saw that. He had a sprained ankle actually going into last game, and he played through it and got 11 rebounds against a really good rebounding team. So I think you just kind of see us gelling as a team and from all angles and kind of learning our roles and getting better from there. So
I think you guys started 5 for 5 from 3 too, which obviously helped get the lead. I mean, have we still not seen, maybe that was a start, but how good of an outside shooting team this team can be?
Yeah, I think we're better than our numbers show right now. Obviously, looking at like Tyson's three-point percentage and Shaver's three-point percentage, those are proven guys who've done it over the course of an entire season. So those numbers will even out, and hopefully they do in more of the important games coming down the stretch here. St. Louis is obviously a great three-point shooting team and just a great team in general. So that'd be nice if they evened out against them, but I think we're a little better than our three-point percentage shows right now.
With 3 Power 5 wins already this season, I mean, what does that do for the momentum of this team as you look forward?
Yeah, I mean, looking at those games before the season, like, it looked like a really tough schedule coming in, so we knew we had to be kind of ready to go right from the get-go, and I think that's might be a first for Boise State basketball too, getting all those Power 5 wins early. But we also got a bunch of good games coming up, and you've seen the success that the Mountain West has had already too, with the net rankings coming out today. A lot of good teams above us, so we got a lot of hills to climb still, and we're still trying to gel. So
Leon was telling us before the season, because of whether it was the Oregon scrimmage or the early tough season schedule, he was going to try to speed you guys up in the preseasons and kind of have you be more ready to go for game one than maybe you have in the past, knowing how important the early season was. Could you notice that? I mean, were practices harder in the preseason, or were you guys ready to go more, you think, to start the year this year than some?
Yeah, I think we were, but until you get out there and play with your guys in a real game, there's really no telling what it's going to be like when you're out there. I mean, it's just a different feel from a game, from just doing the same thing over and over again in practice. Like, we probably have 80 preseason practices before our first game around, including summer, and then it's just different when you play. So it kind of just takes a couple games to get going, and you saw kind of our struggles early, but I think we're starting to find our stride.
You're getting pretty adept at those little floaters in the key. Is that a matter of people trying to run you off the three-point line, or are you just finding your shot a little bit more?
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. Like, the scouting report on me is obviously have a stick hand up and get up, and just maybe a little pump fake is working for me right now. So my goal is just to get them in the air a little bit, and then just kind of go slow and play my game without going too fast. And then it's just been working right now, so hopefully it continues to work.
Do you notice, do they defend you differently as a starter than coming off the bench last year?
I don't know. I think my scout is going to be the same no matter what my percentage is from three, considering last year early on it was not looking too good for me from three, and people still guarded me the same. I remember going into that San Diego State game last year, I was very low percentage. They still guarded me the same. So I don't think it really matters what my percentage is. I think I just got to go out there with confidence and play my game.
When you guys had the long winning streak last year after kind of the slow start, it seemed like every game was more confidence building. I know you're only at 5 or whatever, but are you getting any kind of the same feeling where guys are starting to gel and it's starting to kind of pick up steam again?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're comparing it to last year, like I think we're way farther along this year than we were last year, and you kind of saw how we got better last year just over time, and by the time we got to conference, I think that's when we reached about our peak around that time. So I still think there's a lot of gelling we can do, and we can learn with these games coming up, and by the time we get to conference, I think we'll know our roles even better and kind of move some of those bench guys along, give them a couple more minutes too.
With those guys coming off the bench, I know Leon has talked about trying to kind of get that rotation a little bit more set. What are you seeing from those guys as they try to earn some opportunities?
I mean, first of all, I've talked a lot about Jace. He's a huge bonus for that coming off the bench. I think he helps Shaver a lot with pressure when we need him. Whenever Shaver's in foul trouble, that helps too. And then Sada, as a freshman, he's done some big things for us too. He doesn't turn it over too much yet. Sometimes a little loose, but that's just some freshman hiccups that you're going to have. And then Kobe, he'll be big for us in conference. He can guard. And then Lucas, obviously, he's a starter / bench guy. But I think all those guys will be able to contribute for us in the future for sure.